Good afternoon from sunny, dry Florida, USA. I'm your host of Dare to Dream, Graham Williamson. I'm an international intuitive, evidential medium and psychic. Welcome to the room. And today's topic is your space as a medium. The show I did a couple of weeks ago, because we could do bi-weekly on a Wednesday, was mindset. Well, today, your space as a medium is similar, but this is physical. You've got to have an area where you feel comfortable when you're going to do readings. You've got to have your intentions preset, and you have to say them out loud. This is my opinion of what happens to me. I've always done the same thing, is set my intentions and ask for guidance from my spirit guides. And those guides can change all the time. But normally I have 2 or 3 that always appear in some order. But I know their energy very well. So I have my mother, who was a rescue medium. I have my grandmother, who was a medium. And I have my grandfather, who supported my grandmother. We used to call her Nana. But the space I'm on about really is a physical. It's like the room you see behind me. It's our front room. And I always have to lay out furniture so it looks decent. Everything's in its place. I feel comfortable in this surrounding. This is where I've done all my shows. Well, most of them. In fact, I sat over there early on when I started doing my broadcast. I had a desk and everything, but it became too inconvenient. You see, a medium has to go by how they feel in their gut area. I'm going to load the camera in a minute. This is my favorite area here, my guts. Everybody has a gut feeling, and you either listen to it or you don't. The more you listen to it, the more you amplify your ability in understanding the energy around you and affecting you. But remember, you affect the surroundings as well. If you're positive, happy, I'm not about, oh, I've got my head up in the clouds and my feet off the ground. No. Happy in your heart and feel content, feel loved, feel secure, feel warm. And I've got 3 cats here and a little dog called Bo. And my wife, who's the best animal whisperer I've ever met. But they are all in my energy. They're in my space. And they can walk around and I don't feel anything uncomfortable. Most of it is to do with the psychic side of our abilities. The one that every single person who has ever been born has. But as I said earlier, you don't always use it. But it's like any tool that you're gifted with. The more you use, the better at usage you become. I have never really understood how people could read something A, B, C, D, all the way down to Z, and then start one, whatever, and just keep on going, reading. I've always been spontaneous because every single little bit of noise, every sound, really, every smell, and just what I see around me affects how I'm going to be, how I react. The colours behind me make me feel at peace. And the blanket there is similar to this. We just bought it a long time ago, and it's ideal for when you just lay down and relax. Having your space to do your reading is important. When I do the fairs, I've got a little wooden table, bedside table that holds, and that it's only about 1.5 foot square. Or I've got a 6-foot table, or I've got an 8-foot table. So it depends on the event I'm going to. But I have, on the little wooden table, I have my Bible, my notepad, and my clock, and my tissues. And on the 6-foot table, I normally have all my paperwork, people sign for a reading, my business cards, a little resume of what I do, and whatever other signage I need. But I put them out every single time. That's my space in that event. Because when you buy a home, first thing you do is put in your furniture and all your knickknacks. Then you have your little spaces. So in a way, you're all training yourself as a medium would. But you don't really take into account the gifts within you, apart from colour, feng shui, and all the rest of it. And how many people do you know are interested in feng shui, peace within the house? How many people do you know sage the house? Not regular, but quite a lot per year. You see, your space is the energy around you, affecting you and you affecting it. You have to understand what it is that you are doing. You have to learn to listen to that gut feeling and what you actually, how can I put it in words? How can you understand yourself better? By practice, my friends. I've done a lot of these shows now, and I was quite surprised in how many I've done. But each one's been different or slightly different. How? Because I'm evolving as I'm going on. My space is getting better and better and better and bigger. My energy is exceeding my physical shelf. One of the nicest compliments my wife and I have both had is people come into our area, like at the events, for example. They say, we're just drawn to the energy over here. We feel so loved and respected, and the empathy that we have, it shines and they can feel it. And my wife makes these bracelets and people say, there's so much love in them. You see, that's the space I sit in. And I'm not bragging or anything, it's just a simple fact. You have to look after your space. If you want to learn about mediumship, there's many ways of doing it. You can go to groups, you can come to me, you can go to other people, wherever you want to go. But you've got to open your mouth and ask questions. You've got to open your mouth and give information. But you can't think about it, you've got to react to it. Whatever information is coming through you. And sometimes you feel a little bit insecure, so having your space is so important. It gives you that confidence. You feel, oh, nothing's going to bother me. Nothing's going to intrude. Even my wife cooking at the moment, I'm smelling ribs. And it feels great. But that's the space I was on about. Everything around me, the energy, feels comfortable. I've been building up to actually wanting to do readings on my show, Dare to Dream. I've given so many variety of shows about mediumship, but I can't do a show without participants. And if you want to join me on the show and have a reading, contact CC or contact me. There's many ways of contacting us. CC's got the newstreamingnetwork.com or New Streaming Network. Look it up and you will find a way of connecting to us. I'm on there. Look for Graham Williamson Dare to Dream show. Because the space I have needs filling with other people now. You can email me. Thanks, Cece. You can email me as a medium77, all one word, at gmail.com. Or you can contact me at the other Hotmail address, the Britt77. That's TheBritt77 at hotmail.com. Or you can call me on Florida, USA, 352-409-1060. leave a voice message. Or you can even go on Facebook and look me up and message me. Because I want to help you help yourself. I want you to develop your spaces. I want you to understand why you are here. I've never been able to answer it other than the fact that I have been proving for a very long time continuity of life after the change called death. The essence of people does not die. The spirit, the energy, whatever you want to call it, it never stops living. Only the physical stops living. The shell. It's animated by the energy that is within each and every cell of our body. And that was funny enough, because I know spirits are talking more, but they want to show you that that life, that spark within you, never dies. It's always growing, evolving. Some people, when they actually pass, they don't realize they've passed, and they lock themselves in their little space within their mind, within their spirit mind. And it's up to people such as myself, I'm a rescue medium as well, that look out for these people that are trapped within their own spaces. So there's a lot of use in that word space as a medium. Your space, the physical and the spiritual. And I've enjoyed every challenge that's been put before me. The fact that I'm able to do these shows without any preamble, without any experience as a professional show host. I've developed my ability by people such as Cece, who created this new streaming network. And because of her grace and brilliant professionalism, I've been able to do the shows. She's allowed me to have my space in her network. And there's so many different facets of the new streaming network. You'd be surprised. I think we're doing, about a dozen different media outlets and stuff like that. And it's getting larger. And the topics within the group, the space is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's getting filled with different types of people. And I feel comfortable doing my bit as a medium with all these other people, because we don't interfere with each other. We accept each other. I accept their space, they accept my space. Because I can't work in a negative environment. I won't work in a negative environment. I have to feel comfortable. I have to have my little space to do what I want to do. And I will not second guess. I will not lower my standard of my promise to those spirits that have gone before me. My mum quit doing her work as a rescue medium when she started to have 5 children. That took some guts. And she was very much involved with people who had died traumatically. And even the church, local church, the vicar used to come and knock on mum's door, granddad's door, and say, can your mum, or daughter in that case, can your daughter assist us in rescuing someone who died traumatically? Granddad, I don't know if they allowed it in the house, but from what I can gather, yes, they did in some circumstances, not always, or sometimes it was at the church, or probably at the place where the person passed, and help rescue those people. But to do that, Mum had to be really happy and understood the parameters of her space to do this with the church, with her father watching her back, making sure she was safe. Everybody has to feel comfortable to be a medium. Because if you're not comfortable, you're not being a medium. You're still a psychic, but you're not being a medium, an honest medium. If your space is wrong, how can you feel any other spiritual energy? You can say, oh yeah, I can feel it. Oh yeah. Sorry, I have to say I don't believe it. Working with spirit is a gift we all could do if we worked at it. But you've got to stop thinking, but what if somebody says, oh, I'm working with dead people, or I talk to the dead? No. I've found in the Bible, which I use as a guideline, there's 3 times Jesus Christ resurrected 3 people who are deceased, brought them back to life. That's just an example. He broke the rule book. And we all break the rule book every single day for ourselves by saying, no, we can't do that because we've been told not to. Even though you know it's right, you've been told not to. I've seen so many people come to me for readings and say, when I was a kid, I remember doing this, talking to spirit, but my folks, my peers, friends, whatever, acquaintances, all said, well, no, you can't do that. That's wrong. That's wrong. Why is it wrong? To prove continuity of life after death? To know that your loved ones are not gone from existence completely? They're still up there, still around you, tapping into your memories. That's why people say, but keep on thinking about them. But I know they're dead. But they think, in their response to being reminded of the person who's passed, oh, but you're dead. That's what they're thinking. They don't say anything, or very few people say anything. If you talk to those memories that are made open to you again, you form a bridge to bring that spirit closer. Otherwise, it's like shouting across, hey, can you hear me? Nobody's saying anything. If you walk towards each other, you start to hear each other. But you open your mouth. Can you hear me? Yeah, okay. You see, your space is limited by your actions and by your trust in yourself and what you were born with. And the only way you can learn to get better is learn to trust yourself more and exercise those gifts innate within you. I don't know what it is I can do fully with all my gifts. I haven't found them all yet. I don't suppose I ever will. But each gift I use is because it is needed at that time by spirit and the recipient. And I'm working with the energy that's flowing through me, through my space, through my energy field, my auric field. I have learned to interpret it automatically, seeing, smelling, talking about it, and hearing and feeling. I use it all under the one word, seeing, and reading somebody. That energy is flowing through me because my space is calm. I'm not irrational. I'm very blunt. And people say, you don't pull punches, do you? But they're laughing. They're actually releasing that tension that they've trapped within themselves because their space is getting smaller and smaller because of what they've been told by other people. When they knew something was wrong. I get a lot of people that's coming asking me about relationships and how the partner's encroaching upon their space. What's that got to do with being a medium? Well, I'm learning about how people are coping with this stress. And even though I'm 70, I'm learning different ways of making my home with my wife and the animals and my stepdaughters and all our friends and my family is in England and all the rest of it. I'm finding different ways to enjoy it, enjoy the connections. And it's about being honest, my friends. You've got to find your space. to become a medium. You've got to develop yourself in your space. Look at all these colours around me, even on the network screen, the blues, the yellows, everything. Everything just is relaxing, apart from my dog scratching. But that's what he always does. It's part of who he is. It's part of me. My space is not limited to just me. It's everything in that space. How many feel better with music? How many feel better with nature? Looking at the flowers, listening to the wind and the rain, or reading a book, or writing. All those little things that you could do to feel relaxed. My relaxation is actually sitting here talking to you. But I need feedback from you. I need you to actually get up, contact us on New Streaming Network, and tell me what it is that you need help with. What would you like to know? And as I said earlier, a medium77@gmail.com. That's all one word. A medium77@gmail.com. Or the Britt 77. That's TheBritt77@hotmail.com. Or phone me on Florida, USA 352-409-1060. Leave a voice message. Because I'm really pushing out my space and expanding it. And I'm going to keep on expanding it because I don't want to encapsulate myself in a little ball and hide my light from anybody. My light is shining to those that need it, to make you feel comfortable. And if you don't feel comfortable, tell me why. Because I'm just one person, one facet of this energy. We're all individuals, and we all have abilities. Some people could talk the hind legs off a mule. I'm the one, or one of them. I love writing. I love doing a lot of things. Always doing something, creating something. That's my relaxation. That's what I allow in my space, my home, my garden with my wife doing. Well, in fact, my wife's the gardener. I'm not. I just assist. Very small. But you see, this is what makes us enjoy our lives. Individual, doing our own things. We're happily married, not like this, but like that. Individuals, we can do what we want, but together, unbreakable. Because we choose to be. We choose to live in our spaces together. And I've got a space at the back to do readings, hardly used, because it's just a meditation place. The garden is part of my meditation space as well. I have learned very little, but I hope what I'm sharing with you can actually motivate you to learn a little bit more. We will be going on break shortly, but I have actually been given an idea. I want you, the viewer, to like, share, comment, subscribe to New Streaming Network. I would like you to feedback to us about what it is you would like to learn about. I'm a teacher, but I need to know the topic of mediumship or psychic that you're interested in. Because my space is here for you. I want your energy to help me expand, help you expand as well. Because I can't do this alone on this earth. I can do it with spirit guidance, and they run the show because I allow them to. Because I have no fear of what it is they need assistance with. They can't do anything other than what we allow them to do. One of the scariest moments I had when I was just about 18, I met a spirit that didn't want to stay isolated. It tried to invade somebody I knew. It wasn't nasty or anything like that. I just wanted to find a way of talking, and invaded our space. And I had to help this person walk away for a quarter of a mile, and ended up at one of my sister's homes about a couple of miles down the road. But the whole thing was an invasion of space. Now, people say, oh, that must be an evil spirit. No. There are evil spirits. But there's also spirits that don't agree with the moment. They're not comfortable with it. Like you, sometimes it's not that you're evil, it's just, no, I don't want to stay in it. I do not want to sit in this room or talk with these people, be with these people, go on whatever it is. You decide, I've had enough, I want to walk. Well, the spirit evidently had lived on this land that later became a house that I lived in at the time. And the spirit thought it was still in a coal miner's home in central England. The property, not the house. And he was just at a certain position in that house. And when I pointed out later on the situation, excuse me, you're invading our home space. You are past. You need to move on. And when I explained and showed the spirit exactly what the situation was, he left at long last. He was no longer invading my space, but he wasn't doing it maliciously. You have to have a good heart not to be evil. And you're all born with a light inside you, which is not negative. It's your ego that changes it to negativity, but not the light inside. That's still pure. And how many of you have actually bumped into somebody and you think, oh my goodness me, I don't want to be near this one? I walk away. And then later find out, oh, they were a bad person. But they're the sort of people I love meeting. They'll say, oh, you're really tough and you're really this and really that. I says, but I can see inside, you're not as bad as all that. Because you've been told and taught by your peers in your past how to be, how to react. Or you've argued with them because you didn't agree with what they told you, which is why you've been negative. But you have to have a negative to have a positive, and they've got to be balanced. Sometimes the negative wins, sometimes the positive wins. But in your space, there's harmony. There's always harmony in your space if you are truthful and know what it is that you need to be at ease or at peace with. If your mind's racing on negative stuff, you can't be at peace. When you resolve it, when you're honest with yourself and get through it, you will find out that balance is restored. Right, I think, Susie, we're going on break in a sec, and I will be back after the break, and I hope you'll join us, and I will see you soon, my friends. Wow. Welcome back. I just love the adverts. There's so many different venues, hosts, shows. Going Solo Network expanded into new streaming network. I mean, it's amazing. In a couple of years, from small beginning to huge. And I'm honoured to be part of it. But my space is more than just a space with nothing in it. It's full of ideas, full of information, people that I've touched and who have touched me in my heart. I'll say about the lady in the event in a wheelchair. She's been miserable all week and then starts laughing. How did I do it? How did I make her laugh? You see, when we see somebody that comes into our spaces, proximity to us, we have a choice. Be kind, have empathy, compassion, or you can be antagonistic and blunt and hard. But you can mix them together. As I was saying about love, instead of being like this, it's like this. You can join it together in a good way. Because life is a struggle for every single one of us, for health reasons, emotional reasons, physical reasons, just living on this earth with all the turmoil that's happening daily. You each have to find your spaces. And as a medium, I want to pull you in and say, you're safe. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to harm you. I'm going to uplift you. Help you enjoy life again. Proving that you're not alone after you've lost a loved one or loved ones. I have a friend who has cancer. I had another friend who's got through it. I've had a few people come into my life that I love and know really well with cancer. And I shaved all my hair off for her. Her name's April, that's what I'm going to say. She is a fantastic person. She's beautiful inside and out. Almost as much as my good lady. She's like a daughter. This April. And her mum was phenomenal as well. Very gifted artist, spirit artist. I could sit with these two ladies, her mum and herself, and we'd chat about whatever. And there's my friend just drawing a picture. In our space that we created together, there's no antagonism, there's no nastiness. It's just pure love with all that entails. Respectfully entails. Because each of us have a task. We're here, spirit, having a human experience. And that task is to self-enlighten. Understand why you're here to the best of your ability. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but it feels right to me to do what I do. It took me a very long time to get into a position over 20 years ago that I got into this position better than I've ever done before, to actually trust myself to make a decision that stunned all my family in England. Came here on a holiday. Met my wife, physically, been talking to her for a long time. And the way we got to know each other through the internet was we knew we couldn't lie to each other because we've both been hurt in past relationships and experiences. We formed our new space. It was compatible for both of us. There's no hidden agendas. There's no half-truths. None at all. I'm the first one to say, no, that's not what I meant to say. This is how I meant to say it. I'm getting a little bit older and I'm a little bit more forgetful. But that's, to me, normal. My wife's the same. She's a little bit younger than me. But we work together in our spaces. She's got a space in there. She's got a space over there. She's got a space outside. We've got loads of spaces. Because as a medium, I'm not blocking positivity. I'm not blocking any chance of learning, interaction, connection with spirit or from spirit. All those things matter to me. But when I do the show, this is pretty much what you'll see each time. You may change a picture or two or move something around slightly. Because every day things evolve. You've got to live in your space. But take your space with you. In your heart and your head. In balance. Because my guts tell me yes or no. I listen and how that makes me feel in my heart. Then I respond, use my head. And I've never been disappointed. I may have made a mistake, but then it turned out it wasn't a mistake. Because your energy in your space is so receptive, so finite. It touches everything. And anything that comes in, whether it be thought, with all the other senses, you feel it. You know when something's out of space, out of place. I like to wear the set clothing. And I wore a green shirt at an event, and I thought, that was the wrong colour, Graham, because of too much green. So I promised I would not wear green again, because my space depended on it. But before we go, because I'll close shortly, I want to say thank you for watching, and I hope what I've shared with you helps you learn a little bit about what you need to do for yourself. And if you need any help, go to Dare to Dream Show, or you can come and email me on amedium77@gmail.com or the Britt 77 THEBRITT77 @hotmail.com and send me a message. Or you can call me Florida, USA 352-409-1060. Leave a voice message. If you don't, I won't answer it. Or contact me on Facebook. You know my name, Graham Williamson. You see the picture up on the top right of the screen, or my face. But I want to thank you for coming to my show, Dare to Read. And we'll be... CC must be a mind reader. I was just about to say that. And my next show is Wednesday, August 14th at 6 p.m. EST. That's Eastern Standard Time. Same line as New York, all the way down. And it's for 45 minutes. I hope you'll come and join us. And Spirit want to say, for those of you that doubt your spaces, change it. Change your position, change your thought waves, the way you think. Switch the thinking off and listen to your heart and your guts. And I've really enjoyed doing this show today. And I hope, seriously, that you'll come back and see us. My show is Dare to Dream. I'm Graham Williamson, international intuitive, evidential medium and psychic. And I want to say something else. For all of you that feel that you can't do it, it's too hard. What if I'm wrong? You're going to be all of them at some time in your life. But when you're a child, who tells you how to get up? You do. Who tells you how to talk? You do. You're corrected in how you walk, in how you talk as you get older. But nobody told you how to breathe. Nobody told you how to feel. You have your own little space. And everything you need is in that space, in your heart. And I'll leave that with love and blessing to each of you. And thank you for watching. And I'll see you soon.